Oh,
Do it. Go on.
Beatings and palpitation. I am the Mad Metal Man, and today we have my doppelganger here with us.
boo, you suck.
I'll be right back, guys.
What the? You just started and you're already snoring? What kind of professionalism is that? We're supposed to be professional? Jeebus.
Okay, today we do have the wrestler known as Funny Bone with us today. I just thought I'd sound like Metal Man for a second, though I feel like I failed, but that's fine. So how are you today, Mr. Funny Bone, sir?
I'm amazing.
Never thought you'd see yourself here with a bunch of internet losers like us, right?
That's not the first time.
And
Fair
it won't be
enough.
the last time.
Haha! All right. Well, do you have any questions to ask our lovely guest, Gaming?
Well, yeah, first of all, where did you go to school for, for wrestling and all?
I started out here in Las Vegas with the Ultimate Wrestling Federation, because that's a creative name. I started under the tutelage of the greatest ever Nick Bockwinkel and Scott Casey.
Cool beans.
Nice.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, Scott Casey's legitimately one of the best wrestlers ever. Nick Bockwinkel is the best wrestler ever. Scott Casey is the guy that actually originally trained Booker T.
Oh.
Oh,
Wow.
okay. Wow.
And
Hey.
fortunately enough for me, the only guy that trained under Nick Bockwinkel that's still wrestling that fully trained under Bockwinkel is me.
Cool.
That's awesome. Let's see.
All right.
Anybody else have any questions to throw out there? Because I might have to
I've got a whole bunch right here in front of me.
Go for it, Matt.
ask him
Okay.
the most important question first.
Oh God, yeah. I got to get one question out of the way, or otherwise I will never be able to hear the end of it. So, Mr. Funnybone, who is in your boys' stable?
Oh my God, no.
In my what?
A boys' stable. So around from the beginning of the Riffs and Ropes stuff, we started doing this thing where another co-host and I, Little J Moxley, he's actually in the chat right now. He asked me who was in my boys' stable. Apparently, that's when it's wrestlers that you enjoy that are kind of embarrassing to you, but you still love them anyway. But they've never held a championship.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't pay attention to much of that stuff. I don't even watch a whole lot of wrestling, to be honest. Like, I watch tape, study tape on guys that I'm wrestling, guys that I'm coming up with. If I haven't worked with them before, I watch a lot of indie stuff, but I don't know who has titles and who doesn't have titles. I don't watch WWE. I haven't in a very long time. Don't watch a lot of New Japan. Kind of too busy to watch most of it, to be honest with you.
But when you wrestle, you do wrestle with your eyes open, right?
Yeah, usually.
Okay, cool. Just making sure.
Don't usually need it most of the time, but yeah, occasionally I will peek out.
Just so
to
you
make
could
sure
see
you're not about to
the
get
blood.
sidelined.
Yeah, I mostly listen for the funny noises people make when I hit them really hard.
Excellent. Well,
All right.
there's nothing better than watching someone suffer under your feet. It's definitely beautiful. I appreciate your talent.
Thank you.
Okay, so whoa,
Sorry about that.
yeah, you stop that.
Stop
Let's
that.
see. Hammers Productions, who is not here with us, what was wanting me to ask, what is it like wrestling for so many different promotions like Best of the West, Hit Slam, and Freak Show?
It's always interesting. We different crowd, different dynamic, different way to pretty much do everything. Hood slam, obviously. I can just go out there and dump somebody on their skull and they're going insane for it. Companies that are more wrestling heavy as far as crowd enjoyment, you have to get more technical. What did you say? Best of the West, Hood Slam, what else?
Freak show.
Oh, Freak Show, I can do whatever the fuck I want. I like Freak Show. I've been the champion since 2011. I'm legitimately allowed to do whatever the hell I want, whenever the hell I want it. Not in my match, just in the show in general. So that's a whole lot of fun for me.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna have to look into Freak Show some.
Yeah, Freak Show is something I've been a part of since day one. I'm the first ever champion. I haven't lost the belt once. I've wrestled the likes of Cody Rhodes, Gangrel, Tom Pritchard, with Rikishi, Jake the Snake Roberts. You name them, I've beat them.
Hey, on the stool, under the ashtray.
Let's see here. Okay. Question number 2 from Hammers was Best of the West Year 1 you versus now WWE's Leo Rush. What is the process going into matches with other big name wrestlers?
First thing I had to set out with him is I told him if I accidentally call him kid, it's not an insult. It's just my oldest son is almost his age. That's a shoot. I don't fall into the big name thing. Like I said, I've wrestled Tom Pritchard. I've wrestled Rikishi. I've wrestled Jake the Snake Roberts. Tommy Dreamer. I recently wrestled Sabu. Like the process is all the same. I know what I'm good at, and I know what I do well. I got trained under someone I consider to be the legitimate best wrestler ever. I know what I'm talking about. I'm one of the very, very, very few guys that does this for a living that has no TV exposure. Obviously, I know what I'm talking about. I'm humble in my position, but I know what I'm talking about.
And I guess last question from Hammers would be, what really started your interests in wrestling and character, and the character Funny Bone?
Well, as far as wrestling goes, I've always watched wrestling growing up. There was a pivotal moment in my life where I was watching a Saturday morning WCW show, and it was featuring Rey Mysterio versus Eddie Guerrero in what could be described as a throwaway match, just something to eat up TV time. But those two went out there and did what those two are expected to do, which is just have an amazing match. And at the time, I'd never really seen anything like that. It was mostly, WWE style stuff that I saw. It wasn't the cruiserweights. It wasn't the fast pace. It was a slow, boring shit. When I watched that match, it went from I want to be a professional wrestler to I need to be a professional wrestler. So that was a very big moment for me. As far as the character Funny Bone, I've been called Funny Bone since I was 11 years old. It's been a nickname of mine because, as it turns out, if I hit my funny bone, it knocks me out cold.
Damn.
As far as the character goes, it's been a continuously evolving situation.
Cool.
That's I wasn't expecting it to be one of those things where you literally are Funny Bone like all the way through. I didn't,
I get called Funny Bone on a daily basis. Most people call me Funny Bone or Bone. Very, very, very few people in my life know what my actual name is. I've been wrestling 17 years, and I probably could say about 10 wrestlers or less have known what my real name is.
Nice. Huh. Well, let's see. Okay. So you mentioned training before. Just to touch back on that, what was the training like for you? Was it something that you just kind of fell into naturally, or was it something that you had to put a hell of a lot more effort into just to kind of equal out, I guess?
Luckily for me, I was actually in really good shape. Granted, I was about 140 pounds, but I was very strong when I first started. When I first started training under Nick and Scott, it was 500 squats a day. We would start off with 100 squats, and then time would pass and 100 more, and time would pass 100 more, and then we did them throughout the training. It was like that for the first 2 weeks. We did 500 squats every single day. After that, it turned into like a once a week thing. I do believe training was hard. They train very old school. They're not nice. They're not friendly. They're not there to be your pal. If you couldn't get up and do it, they would literally boot you out of the ring and tell you to find your balls and get back in.
So it's almost has a militaristic kind of aspect to it.
It was Scott and Nick both worked the same way. Of wrestlers are made. Wrestlers are something you mold, but realistically speaking, if you don't have the heart to be a professional wrestler, you're never gonna do it. If I was to train somebody, because I train people now, and I would train them quote unquote too hard, a real pro wrestler is gonna keep going. Somebody who wants to do this but that doesn't have the heart to is gonna stop. I was never worried about other people stopping because training was too hard, because that's how I got brought into the business. If it's too hard for you, it's not meant for you.
That makes sense.
So it wouldn't be military as far as strict and yelling and screaming. It would be, this is something you have to earn. Being a professional wrestler is something you earn. You don't just get because you pay money to go to the school. It's something you earn the opportunity to do.
Wow, that makes a lot of sense now. I'm sitting back thinking about it. It seems to be parallel to a lot of things that because I did a lot of soccer when I was younger, and a lot of my friends went into the military. One of them is a drill sergeant at the moment, and so yeah, it's funny. There's these kind of parallels between there. I wouldn't have thought that wrestling would have been quite like that, or at least the training schools.
I can't speak for everybody's school, because I see schools out there that just let people do whatever and kind of not nitpick them. But then again, I see a couple of really good schools where you could see it's ran properly. You could see it's ran correctly. You could see it's ran with the intent, like I said, like it's something you got to earn. You want to earn to be a professional wrestler. Paying your dues doesn't just mean money.
Right. Oh, I was going to say, yeah, you got to earn respect and climb up the ranks, especially in wrestling.
Yeah, wrestling is very respect-based. It's very trust-based. If you're doing disrespectful things, I don't have trust in you, and then we're not going to work together.
No, and that makes sense, especially considering the amount of injuries that you can wind up with if you're at any point just I guess oblivious to it, or just not in the mind frame, or if you're just actually out to hurt somebody.
I mean, realistically speaking, wrestling is one of the few things that you can do completely correct and still get injured. So we try to stay away from incorrect as much as possible.
Oh, hell, considering some of the moves that I've seen, I don't blame you one bit. Well, let's see, while we're still here, so speaking of training and moves and such, are there any moves that you had trouble with, or you wish you could do better?
Not really. I mean, moves to me are irrelevant. There's never been a move that I was like, oh, I want to do that. I work my character, I work my gimmick, I work my style for that. There's plenty of moves that I can do and I can do very well that I don't do because it doesn't fit. I'd rather do something that fits and makes sense than force it.
Plus, you want to make sure you execute your enemies properly as well,
Yeah, I like to dump people on their skull.
Yeah, that's what you have to do.
It tenderizes the meat.
Exactly. By the way, I don't know if anybody has asked this question or not, but do you have a dream match? Do you have like any wrestler from the past or present, like from the 80s or from this point? Who would be your dream match?
Mick Foley.
Oh wow.
I will be.
Reason being is because A, Mick was somebody I always grew up watching and loving and enjoying. And B, because if you think of the four realistically biggest ECW stars ever, which is the company I actually prefer to watch over most,
Mm-hmm.
you would say Sabu, Tommy Dreamer, Sandman, and Mick Foley.
Holy
I've wrestled
hell.
with all the three except for Mick Foley.
Oh man. Holy hell. You're really suicidal, huh?
I just beat Sabu. I went toe to toe with Tommy Dreamer, and I need Sandman's skull off of his goddamn face.
Wow. That is some impressive people that you wrestle.
Yeah, I try.
Yeah, Mick Foley, he's a legend. He is hands down one of the greatest wrestlers out there. Because, I mean, he puts his heart and soul and body, he puts everything out there. I mean, it's crazy. I mean, he goes even too far, like when he wrestled The Undertaker in that cage match. But I don't know. I mean, you know that he has the love of wrestling in his heart when you see him wrestle like that. Like he puts everything out there, and that's very respectable.
Yeah, he's never been the type to phone it in.
Uh-huh.
I was actually just recently watching a match because I got brought up in conversation while I was wrestling Sabu. There was a match many years ago when I was a child. It was my first ever live wrestling event, and it was actually Cactus Jack versus Sabu in a desert death match right here in Las Vegas at the Silver Nugget. Absolutely insane match. Loved every second of it. They went all over everywhere, including into the casino, which they got in trouble for. And I remember watching that match like vividly, like I remember it like it was yesterday. Turns out, though, a lot of the people that were involved in wrestling now were actually at that show as well, and I just didn't know it.
Oh wow. By the way, where's Hitsu? Is she still missing in action?
Yeah, it looks like it.
Okay, who else has more questions? Matt, do you have any more on your list?
I think you're the only one on right now.
Son of a bitch. I feel bad for you now. Because I'm just a psycho bitch.
I'm sure I've dealt with worse.
Yeah, I'm sure. Let me see. What are your future plans right now? Do you have any scheduled matches coming up?
I'm all the way booked until like middle of November. I have every weekend booked.
Oh wow.
Tomorrow I fly to Seattle. I have a show out there. I don't know the name of it. It's like WUW or something. Then on Sunday I have Blue Collar Wrestling in Portland, Oregon. On the 24th, Pro Wrestling Uncensored in like the LA area. 25th, Best of the West in Santa Cruz. 26th, I defend my SenCal Pro Heavyweight Championship against Ziggy Dice. Let's see, the end of this month, I have 3 days of a Lucha Expo in Las Vegas. I know one of them I will be tagging with my frenemy, Sin Bodhi.
Okay.
That should be a huge show. There's supposed to be a couple thousand people out here for that.
Nice.
Then I'm in Arizona. Then I'm in California again. September, I'm in Mexico, Northern California, Southern California, Portland, everywhere.
Wow. Do you ever make it to the other coast?
Farthest I've been so far is actually Milwaukee, Wisconsin area.
Hmm.
Last time I was there, I put somebody in a casket and set it on fire.
Sounds like a Monday morning for me. Yeah.
Yeah, it's good way to start off your week.
Hell yeah. Good sacrifices. See, I'm on the other coast. I'm in Florida, so every so often I get to watch a couple of regular, small little venues that they open up in here. But you gotta go to Tampa, Orlando, Clearwater. Those where they usually have events. And every so often, of course, like the big people show up, like the WWE stops by in different parts of Florida as well. But I don't know, man. I love. I've watched wrestling since I was a little evil bastard. So my dad used to be like a huge wrestling fan. So he would take me to Mexico. We would go to watch Triple A, like AAA, whatever you call it in English, Triple A. And I would watch people like I actually watch Eddie Guerrero wrestle and Rey Mysterio, but the uncle, the original Rey Mysterio.
Yeah, senior.
Yep, El Santo. I mean, Blue Demon. So many amazing Mexican wrestlers, and I got to see even Kamala. He was over there in Mexico a few times, and yeah, I mean, I don't know about the WWE. It's too much of a soap opera. It's like it lost a lot of the fundamental wrestling acts, like I don't know, it's a soap opera now. So I kind
Yeah,
of
they
don't
keep
watch
it
that as
vague
much.
for more people to watch. The more wrestling in a wrestling show, you limit your audience.
Yeah,
If you have a lot of wrestling, you're just gonna have wrestling fans watching. They want more than that,
that's the
which is
problem.
idiotic.
Agreed. But
Speaking of Lucha Libre, though, I actually
yeah.
that's another dream match I have is Rey Mysterio, and
Um,
that's mostly because the three people that really brought Lucha to the United States would be him, Psychosis, and Hoovy in WCW days.
don't
And
forget La Parca. That's
yeah,
another
La
one.
Parka as well. I mean, realistically, though, Hoovy, Psychosis, and Ray, when they first went to ECW and then to WCW, were the first three real big ones. You know, I mean, you have like the La Parkas, you have like
Conan.
Super Callow, Conan, you have El Dandy, you have all the really, really, really talented Silver King, all the old school luchadors that were in WCW. But to me, it was Ray, Hoovy, and Psychosis. And I've
Hmm.
actually wrestled Hoovy and I've wrestled Psychosis.
No
I need to wrestle
way.
Ray.
That is awesome. I've seen them all. I've seen Psicosis and Juventud, and even like I said, there was a tag team. I think one was Gringo Loco or something like that. He passed away many years ago. He was Eddie Guerrero's tag team partner for the
Art
longest
Bar.
time. I'm sorry, is
Art Bar.
that him?
Yeah, that's the guy that invented the frog splash. That's where Eddie got it from.
Mm.
They were
And
trios actually. It was Eddie Guerrero, him, and Madonna's boyfriend, also known as Luis Piccoli.
I never saw Luis, but I did saw the tag team between just them two versus I don't know. I saw many matches. I saw them live quite a few times, and they were both just absolutely amazing. People hated them so much. It was great watching.
I have a
But
DVD of a random match of those two starting a riot in Mexico City.
yeah, sounds about right. And yeah, they were amazing wrestlers. They were great heels. I mean, they knew how to start people up, and they would get thrown everything. I saw shoes flying, drinks, you name it. I saw everything flying. But
You do know one of the biggest things Eddie Guerrero has ever done in his career was he started off as a mass wrestler, like so many luchadors do.
right.
But unlike most luchadors, he voluntarily took off his mask in the center of the ring and damn near caused a riot that night because that was something that people just didn't do. They still don't just do.
Of course not. It's like a huge insult, like the mask. A lot of people don't understand that the mask means a lot. It's basically the character whole in Mexico alone. I know because I'm actually Mexican American. I know that losing the mask is like one of the worst things you could ever do. Especially you lose it and you give it to your opponent. But the mask means a lot and it's heritage to Mexico. It's history. Wearing the mask for luchadores.
Yeah, Eddie Guerrero taking off his mask in the center of the ring voluntarily was one of the biggest things that ever happened in lucha because it's never been done again. I don't believe.
No, I never heard of it before.
He's definitely it is and always will be a game changer, Eddie Guerrero.
Yep, I agree. He was an amazing wrestler. Where's everybody else? Damn.
Oh, I I had one of the damn souls show up, and I had to take care of that real quick. But I won't have any more for the next 45 minutes.
Okay, so I stole the show, so you continue on, Matt. Because
hey, I was just sitting back listening to you guys. By all means, that's far more interesting than half the stuff I'm going to ask.
No, yeah, but because I was born in Texas, and Mexico was literally like 5 minutes away, and the arena was just downtown of the next town. So we would just drive over a few moments, and we would watch lucha libre on Sundays, and yeah, it's an experience watching wrestlers out there.
Well, let's see here. Okay, did you ask any of the questions that people have been asking in the chat?
I have not. I apologize. I know Jinx asked, how much do you spend time out there in the road?
I'm always on the road. I drive on average about 1,200 miles a weekend.
Shit. I don't envy you on that one.
Yeah, it's part of it. I'm okay with it.
That's all.
I'm sure he gets used to it after doing it almost for 17 years.
I was going to say, yeah, there's got to be that buildup of tolerance at some point.
Yep.
Yeah, even Jinx responds, "Oh hell no." Okay. Hammers is in the chat, and he asked if there was a dream matchup that you would have. Like, I know we talked about a dream match, I guess, with you, but is there anybody that you would like to see go against each other?
Oh, that's a good question. I mean, there's a lot of very talented wrestlers that could have interesting matches. I'm more of the fan of the, how do you put this?
The high flyers.
Everybody. Well, no, it's not as much high flyers. I like gimmick. I like characters. I like overall. Like a lot of people's dream match for the longest time was Ospreay versus Ricochet. It was the two best high flyers on the planet going head to head. I'd rather see something like Ricochet versus Nick Cage.
You're kind of dozing off right there. We can't. We're having trouble hearing you.
Yeah, you're a little muffled.
Yeah, I'm sitting in the same fucking place. Fucking phones.
It should be fine now. You sound fine now.
Nick Gage, though, hardcore icon versus Will Ospreay or Ricochet. I want to see the mixture of styles. I want to see the the difference. I want to see what they can come up with character wise. I want to see what they can come up with wrestling wise. I want to see something different, something you're not usually gonna see.
Hmm. Have you ever been in a really, really bad match when it just didn't clash? Like the skills were just not there in a match? I'm sure you probably have, but
Not really, no. For me, I'm smart enough to get out while the getting's good. If I feel it's starting to go downhill, I go away.
mm,
I'm not the type that has to get something in or has to do this or have. There's no has to in wrestling. You can just stop. You can
uh,
just you can just go home. You can just finish the goddamn match. Uh, I don't understand when wrestlers are in situations or matches that are going against the grain, so to speak, and they just continue completely and keep going. I don't understand that mindset.
right. Well, because or have you ever seen a match that you were just like embarrassed watching? Like I got one, and I got Papa Chongo versus the Ultimate Warrior. I don't know if you ever watched those matches. They were horrific. The build up to the matches were amazing. I mean, the whole making Ultimate Warrior spew black blood or whatever, and the dripping of the blood from his forehead, all that cool stuff. The gimmicks and everything, amazing. But the matches, holy hell, they were a train wreck.
Well, I
Have you
mean,
ever
it's hard to have a good
seen?
match with Ultimate Warrior.
Mm,
Ultimate Warrior 9 times out of 10 was a train wreck. So
yeah, I mean, he just run in, do a couple of punches, body slam, finisher. That's the end, you know. So
the guy was garbage in the ring.
yeah, well, he was just pure muscle. I mean, that's. But then there's a lot of pure muscle wrestlers who really did their job, you know.
Yeah, there's some talent with a lot of bulk behind him. Going back and reviewing things since starting this show and seeing more and more of the Ultimate Wrestler or Ultimate Warrior, sorry. Um, yeah, not the best wrestler, not at all. And I'd even go so far as to say that even the showmanship was a little lacking.
I mean, you can go back. Like, I don't think compared to nowadays where they have a lot of direction,
Right.
you could clearly watch the 80s where they did not.
Right.
And I blame WWE for a lot of his faults. WWE's never been good at hiding people's faults. That's one of the reasons I say I try to stick to watching companies like ECW, who completely hid your faults to the point where you didn't know they existed, and then just shine whatever you're great at as much as possible.
Don't forget the great Spanish shows too, like the AAA.
I haven't got to watch a lot of AAA, to be honest with you. I've always been
Hmm,
more of a CMLL guy.
okay.
Oh, well, let's see. What is so far has been your favorite company to work for?
I love a lot of them. I mean, it's different things attract me to different companies. You know, I like companies like Best of the West, who are one of the very few companies that are actually touring. Like they do different cities, they do different areas, they try to branch out as much as possible. But then again, I like companies like Hood Slam that work the exact same day of the exact same month every single month. And they don't even have traditional wrestling fans. It's just an atmosphere they bring that's very enjoyable. Freak show wrestling, like how here in Vegas, we make it up as we go along. Characters are different, funny stuff, not funny stuff. You know, it's everything's everywhere. So there's no one particular company I prefer working for over the others. I like the different stuff that the different companies bring.
hmm Um, I have another question. It deals with cosmetics more than anything. Um, I've noticed that you have makeup that you wear whenever you go out there, and I guess my curious question is how long does it take to put it on? And I guess his follow up is that is it like a latex kind of finish that you use as your makeup?
Takes about an hour and a half to 2 hours.
Oh Jesus!
It's liquid latex,
Mm.
and then liquid latex mixed with acrylic.
Oh yeah,
And that
acrylic is
explains why it takes 2 hours.
yeah the acrylic part. I know as an artist, acrylic is pretty easy to come off, but it is also it does stick when you need it to. So yeah, that's actually pretty cool.
Wait, don't forget the blood of the victims too. It's mixed up with the paint as well.
Well, yeah,
Yes.
you have to have your sacrifice before you can
Well,
garner your strength.
Exactly.
obviously.
Um,
I imagine the makeup itself is pretty hot to put on whenever you're just, you know, getting out there and moving around as much as you do.
You can't actually breathe through the latex or the acrylic, so there's no
Oof.
breathing.
Oh,
uh,
yeah. Ooh.
Well, breathing is for humans anyway. So who cares, you know?
Exactly.
Yeah,
breathing is for the weak.
exactly.
All right. Well, let's see. Okay, let's finish up Little Jay's questions real quick. He wanted me to ask what your dream company would be.
I don't really have a dream company. I have a couple companies I would like to work for at least once, just knock it off the bucket list, so to speak.
Just to say that you had a chance to work with them.
Yeah, I don't really want to work for them, most of them continuously at all. Like just work for them to work for them.
Gotcha.
It's actually none of the big companies either. I don't really have like WWE. I have zero interest in working forever. I don't watch their product. I don't value it in any way.
Mm-hmm.
The guys there, I'm sure, make a lot of money, and that's good for them, I guess. But yeah, I don't value the product at all. Pro Wrestling Gorilla is one that I want to work for, just to say I work there. I like the crowd there. It's very interactive. I would like to work for Progress. I look to work for Defy and Defiant. Let's see. That's most of them right there.
Well, all right. So far in your career, what has been your favorite kind of match to participate in?
Ones with a good build up to it. So often on Indies and WWE, we don't have builds to big matches. We don't have long storylines. We don't have reasons for what we're doing. They do it. They have pay-per-views where all the matches in are steel cage. Why? Because all the fucking matches in are steel cage. There's no reason why except for that. That's fucking trash. One of my favorite feuds I've ever had was myself versus a gentleman known as Cutthroat Cody. We had, I would say, maybe a 5 or 6 month long feud that culminated in one of the most violent matches in Vegas history. It was a steel cage match with weapons, featuring about 3,500 thumbtacks, a barbed wire bat, and a couple of tables.
Holy
Oh.
shit.
Let's just say Cutthroat Cody was sporting a very heavy crimson mask on the Muda scale on the higher things.
Oh, I'm getting horrible flashbacks now.
I guess my follow-up question to that would be, is there any video of this out there?
Yes, please.
Yeah, the Cutthroat, not the whole. It's better with the build. It's better with the whole storyline, but unfortunately, I don't think all of it's on there. The match itself, myself versus Cutthroat Cody in a steel cage, is on YouTube somewhere. The build though is the important part. the greatest stories ever told in the world aren't short stories. You know what I mean? They're
Right.
long stories. They're many books. There's many chapters. I like long stories.
Mm.
Well, so I guess before, since I've cut through most of the meat of my questions, we're starting to get into the last few that really don't have much to do with wrestling at all. But the last one I have is, if you weren't wrestling, what do you think you would be doing?
I'd be a stay-at-home dad.
Aw.
You know what? That's pretty damn honorable. So
Oh, that's sweet. Aw.
I have 7 kids.
Wow.
That's it? Just 7? Man, you're
18,
slacking.
16, 5, 4, 4, 3, and 1.
Oh.
You're slacking off, man. What's going on?
Oh. Stop. You're warming my
A little
heart.
busy
I
wrestling.
can't. I can't. You're warming my heart too much.
So many little bones out there.
Yes.
and okay, one last wrestling question here. Who would you say your top 3 wrestlers are?
Well, I could easily name top 3 wrestlers that I wrestle so many goddamn times I'm sick and tired of it. So let's go with that. First would be a gentleman by the name of Mike Rain, who I think I'm wrestling soon. I've been feuding with Mike Rain since 2006. We've wrestled all over California for every company we've ever worked for. One of the last big matches me and him have had, I took a cradle pile driver off the top rope through 6 chairs covered in thumbtacks. So needless to say, we're not friendly to each other.
Yeah, I would say. Yeah.
The next gentleman would be by the name of Sledge. Who, Sledge, if you're listening, fuck you.
Yeah, fuck you.
I've wrestled Sledge in Mexico, all throughout California. I think I've wrestled him in Arizona. I don't know. I hate Sledge. My favorite part about Sledge is when his wife wears my shirt.
Oh.
And of course, last but not least, fucking Sin Bodhi. I've wrestled Sin in Canada, Mexico, all of California, Arizona, Nevada. We've been best friends. We've been the greatest enemies ever.
Nice.
I've wrestled that fuck so many goddamn fucking times.
You could
I
probably.
literally cannot wait until he dies.
I'm sure you probably could wrestle him with your eyes closed right now, huh?
Hey,
I
Middleman,
wish I could, so I didn't have to see his very ugly face.
Right.
Hey, Middleman, how does it feel to be looking at your wrestler counterpart?
Yeah. Well, actually, it doesn't feel that weird, especially, I mean, you said earlier when you started out, you were at 140, and that's about what I'm weighing right now. And I just recently started going back into working out and actually trying to bulk up. So I don't know. It kind of gives me inspiration a little bit to actually make myself look better.
Yeah,
oh my God, he's the better looking metal man. Ah!
Well, he's the one with who's well, I mean, you're pretty photogenic, but I was going to say Funny Bone's actually a very photogenic gentleman in most of his pictures I've seen of him. So I'd like to just say that little compliment for you.
Why, thank you.
You're very welcome.
Yeah, I'm working out too. I mean, I've been doing a lot of workout lately with like donuts and pizza and cupcakes. It's a bitch road, you know, doing all that workout, lifting the donut with your arm. It's fucking painful.
I know.
Fucking
it's awful,
painful.
Man. I've just decided to stick to my curvaceous self and be
by the
happy
way,
with it.
Funny Bone, by the way, what cities, if you could remember, in Mexico have you been?
Just Mexicali so far.
Oh, okay.
The venue that we wrestle there has been around for 60 years. The gentleman that owns and runs it's a big fan of mine. Oddly enough, because I attacked the crowd.
How could you not attack the crowd?
Right?
Yeah, no shit.
They weren't buying my merch enough, so
Well, yeah, punch them in their shit if they don't buy your shit. Fuck that, you know? I understand. I'd be like, either you buy it or I'll punch in your shit. How about that? Simple. It's $20, okay? 20 fucking goddamn dollars to buy the fucking shirt.
Go
Yeah.
work, go work 2 hours and buy a shirt. Damn it.
Just pimp hand it. Pimp
Well,
hand
if
them.
it's Mexico, it's about 3 to 4 days, you know. But you know.
Yeah, well, and speaking of which, I'm probably gonna buy a shirt myself because those are some pretty freaking awesome designs.
Yeah.
I designed those myself on my cell phone.
Nice.
Nice.
Well, to be fair, most of my art is edited on my cell phone, so I can't knock it.
Because I'm the lame one who edits things on a computer.
Yeah,
Guess I'm
you
not-
are, loser.
Because I'm not special enough for you fuckers.
It's okay. It's just you and me gaming. We can edit stuff on the computer together.
Yeah, fuck you two then.
Yeah, sorry that we're more advanced than you guys.
Oh.
I doubt your phone would be more advanced than my computer, but nice try, boobies.
Oh, and I hit them and it hurts.
Our skills would be more advanced.
Exactly. It's Team Funny Bone and Hitsugi, which my name means coffin in Japanese, by the way.
So funny bone
Versus
coffin.
you guys. Funny Bone Coffin, exactly.
I have a couple of those.
Well, gaming and yelling means go fuck yourself in English. So go fuck yourselves.
And then he just got the mad middleman, who the only attack that he has is his chainsaw laugh.
That is his finisher move.
I just laugh at him. Fuck you. Fuck everything about you. God damn it. All right, so
Jesus.
now
Should we
for all
come
the.
to?
I was going to say no. It's time for all the soft questions. Just the general shit that I like to ask people.
Do you mean these questions are going to make us soft?
Pretty much, yeah.
Boo! My nipples are not hard. Fuck you guys.
So, Mr. Funnybone, what is your favorite movie?
I don't really watch TV or movies.
Fair enough.
Neither do I.
I was going to say there's not really a whole lot of creativity these days, so I don't watch anything new. All my shit's caught in like the 50s, 60s, and 70s.
Yeah,
my
mention your
favorite one
porn
growing up
collection.
would actually be Spirited Away.
Oh
no
my God,
way!
dude,
I got that
yes.
movie on Blu-ray.
Oh.
Fuck yeah!
Oh, I love you so much right now. I love you. There's a heart for you. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Yeah, I
Oh
love
my
that
God.
movie.
Fan art now. Fan art. I don't know what I'm gonna make. Oh, no face. No face funny bone. Yes. Yes. I'm doing it.
That's a great movie.
It is. Oh my God. That and Howl's Moving Castle makes me so happy. I love both those movies.
Yeah, I have both of those. Those are my top two favorites.
You know, I never got into it. I never got into any of the other ones. Only Spirited Away for some reason. I just love that movie.
You're making me so happy right now. I'm trying not to fangirl and make noises.
Okay, well, what about your favorite kind of music?
I listen to all kinds of different music, to be honest with you. I have favorite songs for pretty much every genre. I typically listen to a lot of rap, actually. But I don't like shit they put on the fucking radio at all. I listen to a lot of the, actually a lot of shit my 18-year-old finds for me because he ain't got nothing better to do. But a lot of the top lyricists, I like guys that actually write fucking songs and shit that rhymes and shit that's actually good and talented and requires effort.
Mhm.
Not something that sounds like you're having a stroke while giving a shopping list of what you bought that day.
Mhm.
Exactly. I like Tech Nine, Prof, Most Def, MF Doom, RA Rugged Man, shit like that.
God, even shit that I'm into.
Mhm.
Nice. Well, on that question, is there a particular song that you like to listen to in order to get pumped up for a match?
I don't actually have to get pumped up for matches. I could literally be in the back laying down napping, but the second my music hits, that's when the proverbial shit hits the fan, because that shit gets me fucking going.
That's
By the
what-
way, his theme song is "It's a Beautiful Life" by Ace of Base.
Fucking Ace of Base. God damn, dude.
It's a
The
beautiful
fact that you
life.
can pull that reference out of your ass like that speaks volumes for you, sir.
No shit.
You welcome. You welcome.
Even I wasn't ready for that. Holy fuck, man.
Oh man.
Next, we'll start talking about ABBA.
No. Make it better. Go to Aqua.
Oh, for fuck's sake, no.
Oh god. At least I didn't say it was Barbie Girl. Okay, so give me some
Yeah,
credit.
at least you actually knew the name of the band and not just the band that made the song Barbie Girl.
Right.
You guys gotta listen to the song by Jack Off Chill. That was a spoof of Barbie Girl.
Jack Off Chill
Lord.
was a great band too.
What did I come back to?
Jack Off Chill.
Nice.
It's a band.
I like
You
it.
should listen to it.
I
It's
mean,
an amazing
you
band.
know, me and Metal Man were up last night just talking about different band names with different names. And what was the one that we discovered with the word anal in it?
Oh, there was like Surprise Anal Terrorist or something like that.
Yeah, Surprise Anal Terrorist. That's it. That's my favorite band name of all time right now.
I'm the lead singer of that band, so
Yeah.
Encyclopedia Metallica. What is it? Metallium? Something like that. Anyway, just
Yeah.
type in Metal Encyclopedia and just have fun. Type in whatever name you want into the search bar. There's probably something there. What was it? Space Unicorn on Fire actually wound up being
Yes.
a really badass band.
It was good. I loved it. Yes. So if you want new music, just look that shit up. You'll have some fun with that.
Let's see. So do you have any like favorite foods?
Do I have it
Is
say
that-
that again?
Favorite food?
foods.
like people or
The souls of the
Maple
damned.
Bar donut.
Ooh.
Nice
You're
selection.
making me want sweet stuff right now.
I'll talk to you later, Hitsu. I'll talk to you later.
What?
Oh
Wait.
god, the chainsaw finishing move. No.
Wait.
The chainsaw finishing move. Yeah. Here we go, guys. God damn
We
it.
do have Tokyo Banana in my house, so I'm good. Don't worry about it. Just keep going.
All right. What do you generally do during your workout regimens? Like, is it like a lot of military presses, deadlifts, curls, things like that, or is it just like a warm up style thing through the gym just to keep you in shape?
I do full body workouts every time. 3 sets of chest, back, bicep, triceps, the whole thing.
Nice.
My
Mhm.
workout is just getting off of bed. That's about it.
Good workout. Keep it up.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Appreciate it.
As long as you're able to get out of bed, that's all that really matters.
Well, sometimes I need help, but you know.
Oh shit! I think I missed one from Little J Moxley earlier. What is your end goal?
What is my what? I'm sorry, a phone rang.
I think he said end gold, world domination, something like that.
Yeah, end goal.
End goal. My end goal. I'm going to wrestle and I'm going to do this for a living until I physically can't do it anymore. And then I will open a school here in Las Vegas to pass down my knowledge to the next generation.
Oh, that sounds badass.
Very nice.
It's just stop being unprofessional and stop putting things in your throat, you fucking bitch. Fucking
Stop
unprofessional.
looking.
Well, stop putting the camera in our face. God damn. Oh, now the bitch is choking. God damn it.
Hey,
How many
no
times-
dying on the show.
How
No
many
dying on
times do I
the
have
show.
to tell you to stop choking in live shows? You do that in private. Choking in private. I'm sorry, Funny Bone. I'm sorry you have to see this. Fucking unprofessional. Fuck. What the fuck is wrong with this bitch? Somebody broke her.
You did, you fucking bitch.
Oh, Jesus.
I
I'm
bet
sorry.
Funny Bone regrets ever coming over.
Little Jay says you're fired.
Well, you've already fired me like twice. It's all right. I keep coming back because I don't have anywhere else to go.
Yeah, she's like a bad STD. She keeps coming back.
Oh yeah.
You're
Just
my
a
favorite
flare-up.
type of herpes.
Oh, thank you, gaming. That's the nicest thing you've ever said to me.
I know. It'll be the only thing ever.
Well, I have
We're
officially
almost-
run.
Yeah, we're almost at 60 minutes here, so
I was going to say I've officially run out of questions. Funny Bone is. Do you have anything coming up that you would like people to check out?
Every weekend. This weekend I'm in like Seattle, Washington area, and then Portland. Next weekend I'm in LA, Santa Cruz, and then San Luis Obispo. I have a Lucha Expo here in Vegas for 3 days at the end of August. September I'm in Arizona, Mexico, Northern and Southern California. October I'm in Texas. I'm all over. Just pay attention to the Facebook and Twitter and Instagram. I always post where I'm going and what I'm doing.
okay. Well, make sure to put a link underneath, so we'll hook you up with a link, and hopefully, I don't know, maybe some people can go watch you. You're definitely a pretty fun guy to watch.
Oh yeah, for sure,
Yeah.
for sure. There's, I guess, if we're going to close out pretty soon, I did make a promise that I would talk about this on our next Riffs and Ropes episode, which has been a while, but it's a serious topic here. But in this past month, we lost Virgil Flynn, who is very well known in the Hood Slam and wrestling. In the wrestling, what am I trying to say? God, community. Yes, that's it. And they've put up a donation for his family and after his passing. So if anybody would like to donate, you could also buy T-shirts for the donations if you'd like, or just flat out just donate to the family.
Yeah, they have a GoFundMe. Most of the T-shirts you buy on Brown Butter are being donated to the family. My T-shirts on Brown Butter and my pro wrestling tees, all the profits go to his family.
Mm-hmm.
There's over 40 different wrestlers on Brown Butter that are donated to the family.
Cool.
Yeah. So check out my Twitter page, and I guess we'll put a link in the description below if you guys are interested in helping donate to the family in honor of this man.
Yeah, please do. I would very much appreciate that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm actually putting the link in the chat now.
Thank you, Metalman.
I'm trying to be a good producer instead of
Good
just
job,
somebody that
Metalman.
sits on his ass and makes silly cannibalistic jokes all the time.
It's for a good cause, so there you go. Now you can say you did something good this year.
Yep, I've done my one yearly good deed. I can move on now.
And we'll post it on the description too. We'll do
Yeah,
that after.
I will make sure that the description winds up with your Instagram, your Facebook, and all the connections to varying T-shirt things that I can find.
I appreciate that.
No problem. I said I would do it, so there you go. I did it.
Any final words from anybody before we kill each other?
No.
No. Yeah, we're done. We don't see a reason to eviscerate one another with words. Now it's on to the real life battle with weapons and
But that's all in private, so
It's doppelganger versus doppelganger.
yes.
we'll see you
Whoever
guys in the
survives-
next one now.
Yeah, whoever survives gets the name Funny Bone and the Mad Middleman. Go.
He's gonna walk away with my head. You do realize this?
Yeah,
Yes, I
pretty
mean,
much.
he-
We
yeah,
know.
we know, but he wears
We're
a
good.
cool fur coat. Like
I know.
that's so much better.
It beats the hell out of my
Sure.
duster with spikes. So anyway, well, for everyone watching, thank you very much for swinging by. I hope you've appreciated the interview we've had with Mr. Funnybone. Funnybone, thank you very much for coming and hanging out with us for, wasting an hour of your life with us. That's really cool of you, man.
No problem at all.
And I'll make sure that you have a link. You have a link to the video and everything. So if you feel like passing it around, you can.
Awesome, I definitely will.
Yes, sir.
Excellent. Well,
Catch you
For all
guys
those-
later.
for all those watching, yeah, we're the Riffs and Ropes crew. And we're going away now. Bye,
Bye-bye.
all.
Bye bye.
Bye, guys.